Welcome back to kinser'skeep. This week we're
infusing. If you ever wanted to make your own flavored products, look no further.
But first, some history.
Before they were called infusions, words like tonics, cordials, medicinals, and liqueurs were used, but they all hinted at infusing flavors into spirits. The oldest example of infusions comes from a 10,000-year-old beer fermented from wild grasses. This existed even before rice wine.
Now, before we go any further, it's important to mention our kind of spirit guide that's helped us on our cocktail journey, David Arnold and his book, Liquid Intelligence. This book is fantastic if you're looking to push your cocktail experiments to the next level. And seeing as he invented rapid nitrous infusion with the ISI whipper, we have to give a big thanks to David Arnold for making infusions quicker and easier. As far as I've come to understand it, infusion consists of two combined processes. The first process takes flavor from a solid, think herbs, spices, fruits, or vegetables, and putting it into a liquid, whether that's oil, water, or alcohol. But the bonus thing is, you can have both happen with your infusions. For example, if you infuse whiskey with bacon, you get bacon flavored whiskey, but you also get whiskey flavored bacon, and that's just the baconing. Simply put, let's make our own flavored products. So you might be wondering, how long does this all take? Well, some minutes, some days, and others even weeks. It all depends on what you're infusing and the method you use to extract flavor. Now in this episode, we'll be grabbing our ISI whippers and using rapid nitrous infusion, which uses pressure to push liquids through porous solids. But what do I mean by porous? Well, picture air tunnels that lead into a castle that lets the liquid invade and take over. And by the way, it only takes about 5 minutes. In other episodes, we'll infuse with a blender. We'll also go over to the stove and we'll use heat to make flavored syrups. And finally, we'll go to long-term infusion with the set it and forget it jar or bottle method, which can really test your patience. Make sure you check the links below for all the infusion videos. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's start infusing. Now, before we get started, let's organize our ingredients and our tools. We're gonna use El Silencio Mezcal. I love this mezcal. It has some earthy and smoky notes that'll go great with these dates. And you put the dates in the mezcal and you have date-infused mezcal. Which leads us to our knife. We're going to have to thinly slice about 15 of those. So make sure you have a good knife and a cutting board for that, as well as a bowl to put everything into. That brings us to our 1 liter ISI whipper. Now, these are sold in a variety of different sizes, but this bad girl will hold about a bottle of booze with a little extra room. And when it comes to the brand ISI or Easy, I've heard it pronounced that way as well, I can't recommend name brand enough. They're built to last, and they're really strong when it comes to keeping pressure inside. Be very careful with other off-brand names because they might just blow liquid everywhere. And that brings us to our chargers. Now, in order to charge this up with pressure, we're gonna be using nitrous oxide chargers. That's NO2 instead of CO2. Now, carbon dioxide will make everything carbonated. We don't want carbonation in here, so that's why we're using these chargers. And then we're gonna need to fine strain. So grab a sieve or a nut milk bag if you have one of those at home. I like to use both because one supports the other. Aww. Then we're gonna move to our measuring glass. I use Pyrex because it's just trusty and strong. We're gonna need this measuring glass to vent into and to pour in our strain, our first strain. And lastly, all that we need is something to put our final product into. Now you can of course use whatever liquor bottle that you'd like, but if I may, I'd love to recommend the Screw Bottom Bottle by Crew Supply Company. These products are really well made. Look at this. You can screw on and off the bottom piece here, so you can pour liquids in there with no funnel. These pieces are color-coded to help with organization, and it's made with Craft Tech glass. That is super, super sturdy stuff. I've been using these products for, I don't know, over a year now. I absolutely love them. And if you love them or you're interested in buying them, click the link below for a 10% discount code, because saving money is awesome. We have everything, so let's get moving. Now, let's start by thinly slicing about 15 dates and removing the brads. Pits. Brad pits. Gorgeous. We're actually going to put the dates in the whipper first. So, let's put on our gloves and add them right inside the whipper. Two hours later. Then we're going to pour the entire bottle of mezcal right on top of the dates. Now we're going to put our top on the whipper. And we're going to make sure that it's extra snug so that nothing can escape. Now let's add our first charger. Untwist that till it comes off. Pop our charger in and twist it all the way down until you hear the gas. Then we're going to swirl for about 5 seconds. And then we're going to quickly add our second charger. And here we go. Twisting that down one more time. Hear the gas. And we're going to swirl for about 30 seconds. Feel free to change hands. It's heavier than you think. Now that we're done swirling, we're going to let it sit for about 3 to 5 minutes. And we wait. Okay. Now that our wait's over, let's unscrew this. Keep everything together. All right, now we're gonna grab our measuring glass. That way we can vent right into the measuring glass. And we can't take the top off until all that pressure's out, so we're gonna press this really slowly and release it slowly so that we don't lose any liquid. Oh. It's okay if some comes out. That's why this measuring glass is here. Perfect. Now we can take the top off of the whipper. We're gonna set that off to the side. And then we're gonna also let this sit for just under a minute. And you can hear the bubbles still extracting flavor. All right, now let's strain. Gonna grab the sieve and the nut milk bag, and we're gonna pour it in slowly. Now, it's a little cloudy right now, and that's okay. We'll let it sit for about 10 minutes and you'll see the liquid and the solid start to separate. We'll then strain it again for a clearer result. Now, you can get it completely clear if you want by using a coffee filter, but that takes a long time. It really does move drop by drop. Now, if you taste your date mezcal and there's not enough date flavor in there, don't worry, that's okay. Just add more dates next time. Or just do the whole process again and wait before you vent just a little bit longer. Now, for some reason there's too much date flavor, use less dates and let it rest for less time before you vent. Well, we've already double strained, so let's pour our date mezcal straight into the bottle. Gonna take the bottom off. How easy is that? Look, Ma, no funnel. Wow. And that's date mezcal.
Sour Buck, Collins, Ricky Fizz, Flip, Daisy Smash, Cobbler Fix, Julep, Custom Made, yeah, let's run it back. Sour Buck, Collins, Ricky Fizz, Flip, Daisy Smash.
Now, it's time to drink it. You can even make this into an old fashioned or drink it on the rocks. Cheers. It's delicious. I guess I've got a date with mezcal. What?
Baby, you're a mystery. Do you wanna grab a drink with me?